The next function that we're going to try is the cat for writing to the file. So I'm going to combine that with the first exercise from the book. And on page 43 in the book, it says you should now do exercise box 3.1, handling vectors. I had to look around a little bit to figure out where these were. So if you're following along, these are from the website, the scripts. So within the scripts, these are all the exercise boxes. And I'm just working on the first one right here. Before we actually do the exercise, I'm going to work with the cat command first, which is the one that writes to the file, at least the way that we're going to do it right now. So I'm going to do it with a test, file equals, and I've already copied the path, so I'm going to put this in here, and to give it a new name, I'm going to call it test file. And what else? What other arguments do we need on there? We need a sep. So we're going to tell it how it's going to separate the lines, even though for this particular one we only have one single item in there. And append. So we may try this also with append equals true and add another item on there. For right now, okay, well, let's look at this one. So this is a vector, and it only has one item in there. So let's run this. You can see I already tried this. So I saved these into the input files, and I called it test file. So there it is. It wrote it into test. So what I'm going to try to do for the append is I'm going to do append equals true. So this should add it on to there. And I'm going to call this again. Now, since I have it separated by new lines, I'm going to expect this to appear on the next line below it. Looks like it completed. We could read it from the file with a scan, but for right now, I'm just going to do it this way. Okay, there we go. So you know we have the new lines and everything. If we wanted to do it without opening the file, let's see how well I remember this. It was scan file equals, this time I'm going to copy the test file. We still need to tell it that it's characters that we want to separate by, oops, typing, new lines. That should be it. So let's run that. So it read two items. First one is test, next one is again. So that's what I was going to try out with cat, and now let's see if we can put those together with the exercise using one of the same files that we did before. So if we are going to take this line, and I'm not using the same path that was used in the exercise because I have it located somewhere else. Let's see how well this will work for me. I'm going to create this variable, scan the file into it. This should be the same one we used before. There was something about this is the first line, this is the second line. It's characters separated by new lines. And what we want to do is add, this is a new line, as a third element. So we do want it separated by new lines. So the part of this exercise is just plain adding it to that vector. So the first thing we're going to do is scan it in. It read it. So we need to add it as the third element in the vector. So x.2 and the third element, so far there hasn't been one, but this should make one. And we want to say this is the third line. Let's run it. And let's go x.2 and see what's there. So there it is in the vector. Since we're just working with cat, let's write this back to the very same file. So this time our vector is not going to be a single element. It's going to be the vector x.2. So we're going to do cat x.2. We want the file equals, and we are, let's see, what I'm going to actually do is I'm not going to save over the original one. I'm going to call it B. No, let's give it a date. I actually might have done one for today's date, but if I did, this will save over it, and if not, it will create a new one. Alright, since we are writing, not reading, we don't need what, but we do need sep. So we're separating by new lines, and we are saying the append equals false because we want it to create a new one if there's not one, or save over it if there already is one. It ran. Okay, we can see if it's there. And there's our third line. I think we have it.